welcome to Sequin Girly Creates. Today's episode is a special one-off in my 5 sewing series. I have done 5 handmade essentials with Knotty Gnome. You can find 5 sewing secrets and 5 sewing tips particularly for beginners. So today I am doing 5 sewing lies. So for today's 5 things, I'll be telling you 5 things that either are sort of put out there as things about sewing that are true, or that are often sort of just known almost in an urban legend way, and I just want to give those a bit of a challenge. Let's start with what I'm wearing. Fully thrifted outfit today, from necklace to dress to jacket. I'll pop a little video in here of me twirling around. While the video's in me twirling around, the jacket is a Hobbs jacket. I'm going to try and work out how old, but it's that amazing sort of jackety but not over thick for this time of year, spring/summer. The dress, you'll see in the video that I show you the bottom frill. The bottom frill is actually fabric I added because it was an unflattering length on me. So I added an additional polka dot frill to the bottom, and it was just fortuitous that I had some black polka dot fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. Wasn't quite 100% the right size polka dot, but I think it works perfectly. I also had to mend the dress. It was in the sale in a charity shop and it had some frayed hems and things, and I put it through my overlocker and did some mending. Right, let's get started with the 5 sewing lies. Number 1 is that by sewing, you're doing your part to save the planet, help the environment. It can be true, but it also can be a lie. If you watched any of my videos, you'll know that I moved away several years ago from fast fashion and to buying thrifted, second-hand, off all sorts of places, from charity shops to Vinted to eBay to boot fairs, wherever. But also I moved to sewing my own clothes. However, if you buy only brand new made fabric, whilst it is helping in a small amount because there's not workers' rights to consider, it is still putting more fabric and ultimately more clothes into the environment, and we already have enough clothes and fabric in the environment that is enough for everyone to wear, but also it's the chemical byproduct of the fabrics that are made and the environmental cost of that being made, amount of water used, etc. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to buy new fabric. I do. If you've seen any of my videos, you will know I like to buy new fabric, but I also try and balance it out by buying second-hand, by searching, by using duvets, tablecloths, by looking for second-hand fabric, by swapping, etc. So I'm not an evangelist sat here, but it is a lie if we all sit there thinking that by sewing our own clothes we are doing our bit for the environment. We can. Mending, etc. is a best way to help the environment. The most environmentally friendly clothes are the clothes you already own, whether you refashion them, whether you mend them, but on its own, sewing clothes isn't. Number 2, that it used to be said that sewing your own clothes save money. Now I think it's sewing your own clothes costs money. I think both of those are lies. It can go either way. You can save money. Oh, there's a timer going off, hang on. So I do think it's a very complex subject. You can save money if you are repairing clothes that you own and you don't have a big need to spend a lot of money starting up your hobby/household task of repairing clothes. So for example, if you already own a sewing machine, you have all the equipment. I, for the last 20 years, have done all sorts of crafts and hobbies, so I had plenty of things. But if you need to buy these things, then you could say it costs more money if you worked out cost per make until you covered the cost of the sewing machine. If you cover really expensive, wonderful dresses that I sometimes see that are £200-300, and even some of these amazing summer dresses that I like are sort of £150-200, then you could say that sewing your own clothes does save you money. But I know there's a lot of vloggers who calculate the cost of their own time into the cost of the outfit, depending on how much you pay yourself an hour to how much that adds on. For me, I don't, because it's a hobby and I get joy out of the making. It also depends on what fabric you buy. If you were buying fast fashion and wanting to save money, then no, of course it doesn't. but you'll get a better quality piece of clothing that lasts longer, that you're more likely to wear more often. It's a very complex issue that I really don't think can be borne down to it does or doesn't save you money. It really depends on what you're doing and what your ultimate mission is. Sewing lie number 3 is that sewing is great for how you feel about yourself, or sewing makes you feel great about your body because you get to wear clothes you like. I have to say that for me, sometimes that is true. For example, wearing clothes that feel flattering on me, or wearing colours that I like. But there are certain items that when I sew them cause me to have to address how I feel about those parts of my body. I spoke in episode 12 particularly about this, and making shorts. It's making me have to look at / think about a bit of my body that I don't always do until it gets to the summer. So I think that sewing can be triggering if there's areas of your body you don't want to think about, or frustrating if the patterns always cause you to have to do some kind of full bust or full tummy, and it keeps drawing to those areas. So it can really vary depending on how you feel. And I think I will talk another time about this love your body thing. For me, it's been quite a personal journey, as I know it is for a lot, if not everyone. But I don't think sewing alone is the answer. And actually, sometimes sewing can be challenging in how we feel. Sewing lie number 4, that you have to do what the pattern or instruction says. I would say at the beginning it can benefit you to learn techniques such as the different ways to put arms in, etc., the order, but I have to say that particularly if you're using fabrics that you feel less precious about, take risks, do it differently, and if there's a way you like to do a zip that isn't the way the instructions say, do it. If you like to do it in a different order, I was listening to somebody the other day saying they like to do it completely different order because that's how they enjoy it and they don't want to keep changing their serger thread. The instructions are there to help you create the garment. If you're new to sewing, I would suggest perhaps going with indie patterns such as Friday Pattern Company, because they are much clearer about every single step, including the zip, and you learn techniques that you might not know. So don't feel that you have to stick to everything it says. And last of all, sewing lie number 5, that you have to do it in a highly skilled way, or that sewing is a highly skilled hobby / task / whatever we want to call it. I listened to a vlog the other day, and I will put the link of the lady in below. She doesn't just do sewing, but she does all sorts of things, who said none of us feel uncomfortable to an extent about having a food blender or a bread maker or a toolkit in our house, but they are all tools and equipment of other things. And a sewing machine is just a household tool. Every home should have a sewing needle and thread to sew a button back on. But I think we need to view sewing as one of those things. And I really agree with the lady that if we think we can make a cake, that's a professional level thing, in the same way that sewing up a broken side on a dress like this, okay, the things we need to learn, but we can easily look those up now. And also, if you're making for yourself, no one except you knows what the inside looks like. No one except you will see them if you wear them at home as your comfies or your pyjamas. So we can really find it hard. I know I do sometimes when I make something and it doesn't turn out the way I want, but I don't always cast it aside. I start wearing it. I've shared in some of my other vlogs something that I didn't love. I started wearing it and now I've realised it's just so comfortable. It is what I made it to be, a super comfy pair of summer cool trousers. And we can get a little bit hung up when we make things about wanting them to be super perfect because we know every inch of it. But it's the same as decorating a room in our house. Lots of us do that, and none of it is 100% perfect, but we get over it and we live with it. So I think there are some tricky topics there. I'd be really interested on your thoughts. I'd love your comments below on that. I'm sure some of them are a bit contentious and will probably have their own video themselves, but I just wanted to share a few thoughts with you there. If you don't already, I'd love it if you could subscribe, and if you want to see more photos of the clothes and outfits that I make, so thrift and wear, pop over to Instagram where I'm Sequin Girly.